Hi guys. So for those of you that are having a trouble with the Peardeck Google Slides, I wanted to give you a quick tutorial so you knew how to use them. So let me move my little face over here. So this is about the student email etiquette that we started talking about yesterday. I'm going to click and change the slide. It tells you what the objective is, which is basically teaching students the proper emailing etiquette when communicating online. This also goes for chats when you're in class too, as a quick reminder. So this is how Peardeck works. They've given you a situation. It says you are working on an assignment from your teacher and you have a question about activity 3. So we're just going to pretend that I've given you an activity and it's called number 3, okay, on an assignment. So right here it says write the question you would ask your teacher if you needed help with this activity. So basically, you're going to come up with what type of question you are going to answer. Now, right here, it will tell you your personal greeting, okay? So this tells you the different types of greetings. When you're greeting other students, you just use their first name. But when you're writing teachers or administrators or your boss or somebody important, you want to use what's called a formal greeting. And some examples are, formal would be dear, and then it would be Miss Olson if you were going to be emailing me. So for today's activity, it says if you would be writing an email to Miss Olson and Miss Buscari, how would you write the greeting using the formal method? Then over here where it says answer here, I'm going to type my answer. I know that formal means that I use dear, and then I know my teacher's name, which is Miss Olson, and my other teacher that I would be emailing would be Miss Buscari. That's all I have to do to answer that question. There's only one question, and it just wants to know how you would write their names. I go to the next one, and I was working with a student earlier today on this, and this is talking about the subject line. The subject line on an email is something that is you read that tells the teacher or whoever you're writing about who you are and what you're going to need help with. So I hope Bianca doesn't hate me for this, but we used her name, period 2, and then we put help with activity, and it's actually activity 3 that they wanted us to use as kind of our pretend activity. So that's all you have to do for this one. The next one wants you to write the body of the email. So this is what you're really going to write to your teacher. So they told you to keep it short and to the point. So they've given you some examples right here. You're stating the reason for the email right away, okay? Whether it's a problem you're having or a request or something that you need. So the example they have is, hello, Mr. Wright. I would like to know if it is all right to hand in my report on Monday because I will be absent on Friday. So it's just very quick and very short. So now what you're going to do is, this is a reminder, and it says here is a situation. You're working on an assignment from your teacher, and you have a question about activity number 3 on the assignment. So you're going to write the body of your email, and you're going to keep it short and to the point. So I should already have my dear Miss Olson on there. And then I'm going to write, whoops, not a number 4. I'm going to write what I think I want to ask my teacher. So I would say, I am having problems with activity number, everything deletes. And this will happen, guys, as you're working. Things are going to happen, things are going to delete, and you just have to take a deep breath and start all over. So let's try that again. Miss Olson, I am having issues with activity number 3 on my assignment. I don't understand what to do. Can you help me, please? And that's what they want you to do for your body of your email. Now, we're going to go to the next slide. And this is something that even teachers have had problems with. It says when you use all caps, it conveys, which means it makes other people feel like you're angry or you're shouting or yelling at them. Remember, when you're emailing or you're texting or you're instant messaging anybody, there's no tone to the voice, so you kind of read into what people say. And so it's very important how we type so they understand what we're saying to them. So an example would be this. If it was written in all caps, it would sound like I was yelling. Hi, Miss Singer. I would like you to know if it is all right to hand in my report on Monday because I will be absent on Friday. And that does not sound very nice at all. So you're going to choose the best answer to the question over here now. So it says, what might someone think, I did that wrong, you are doing when you type in all caps? Are they thinking you're laughing? Are they thinking you're yelling? Or are they thinking you don't know how to type? You will click which answer you think is right. I'm not going to tell you. And then you will go to the next slide. Here is another thing that a lot of students do. A lot of students like to use slang when texting. My son does this all the time. And I'm going to show you an example on the slide in just a minute. But when you're typing to a teacher or to anybody at school, you need to use academic language, which means you actually have to write out the entire word. So for an example of what not to do, hey, Miss Mia, how do you say that? Mejia? I just can't get it together to get all my stuff done this week. Could you cut me some slack on the due date for that report? Thanks. Now, that might be how you would write to your friends, and they were okay with that. But when you're writing to a teacher or an administrator, or if I were to write that to my boss, if I wrote that to Mr. Romero, I would be called to his office and we would be having a talk about how I write emails to him. So they just want you to rewrite the sentence from this using proper writing etiquette. So instead of, hey, Mrs. Mejia, I would do my formal writing, which would be, dear Mrs. Mejia. And then I just can't get it together to get all my stuff done this week. You have to think of a way that you could express it. So I have been so busy this week with all kinds of things in my life. And if you spell something incorrect, you can go to spell check. That's what I like about this too. In my life that I haven't, I'm spelling things wrong today, that I haven't, oops, I clicked off of that. Where'd it go? There we go. That I haven't been able to get all my work done on time, period. Now it says, could you cut me some slack on the due date for that report? Thanks. Again, I could say, could we find time to talk and about my situation and possibly give me more time to finish it. And I would really, I can't type today, appreciate your help and support. Now, appreciate's underlined. Anytime something's underlined, it means I spelled it wrong. So if you right click on it, it will tell you how to spell it correctly. Okay? So that would be a way to rewrite that. The next one says using proper etiquette. So it says to proofread, proofread, proofread. So you've been seeing me mess up, which I've been messing up a lot, and I'm backspacing or I'm clicking on it to make sure I spell things correctly. So I've been doing this as I've been working on the Peardeck with you. So you want to make sure that the email is not too emotional or angry. Pretend you are the person receiving the email. Is your message clear, and are any key details missing? So you're going to pretend that you are the teacher, right? It says, this is an example of what not to do. So it says, I'm just tearing my hair out, trying to figure out how to tell you that I can't finish my report in time. I am totally freaking out. So that's a little dramatic and emotional. So over on the other side, you need to write it in a more professional way. I'll start you out, but I'm not going to finish it. Dear, and they want you to use the same teacher. I am just tearing my hair out, trying to figure out how to tell you that I can't. Trying to figure out how to tell you I can't finish my report in time. So again, you could put, I am having a stressful time right now, and I am very nervous. And again, I spelled it wrong, so I gotta correct that because I can't leave it like that. I am very nervous about talking to you and telling you that I can't finish. What is wrong with my typing? Finish my report on time. Now I can add some more or change it a little bit. So the rest is for you to do just a little bit different, okay? Next slide. We are going to do this together in class. It's how to change your signature, and I will do that with you tomorrow in class on Wednesday. You have to be so careful to decide who's going to see this. This happens to us teachers all the time. When somebody writes you an email, if you just hit reply, it goes to one person. So if Miss Buscari, Mr. Gaspar, Mr. Swans, Miss Parks all wrote me an email, but I only wanted to reply to one person back, I would hit reply to one person. If I wanted all of them to get my answer, I would reply to all. If I was like, whoa, I need to share this email with Miss Aviles, I would hit forward and I would send it to Miss Aviles so she could see what email I got. And we'll play more around with this at class. Now here it says email's not confidential, so don't provide any very sensitive or private information. So because we're going virtual right now, you might need to be a little bit more personal through email, because that's one of the only ways we have of communicating with each other right now. If we were back in school, you could come and talk to me in person. You could talk to one of the counselors. But for now, you can email us if you do have a problem or need help with something. You can look up on the school website and you can get the emails for your counselors. They're actually on my website as well. Or you can email myself and Miss Buscari and let us know. But you might want to put confidential or private on the top so we know. But a good way to have an email would be, Dear Mrs. Potts, I need to set up a convenient time to come and talk to you after school. So we could set up a Google Meets and we could talk with you privately there, or we could set up a phone call and talk to you on the phone if you don't want to give us all of the personal information through the email. Next slide. Email is not the place to work out serious problems. So it says the email should be used to send homework and other assignments. So if you have an assignment, you can upload it. Usually we're using Schoology, but if you needed to email it to a teacher, you could. It should be used to communicate simple requests or information. Complicated problems should be discussed by phone or in person. Okay? Keep everything polite. I always say be kind to everybody because you don't know what everybody is going through in their personal life. So even though somebody might not be the best friend to you right now or might be a little bit angry, they're probably not angry at you. There's probably something going on with them right now. And we want to respond with kindness back to them because that's probably what they need. So it says if you're upset, wait until you calm down to send an email. I've done this before when I've been angry. I write an email and I send it and I wish that I didn't. So when you get angry, maybe write it down on a piece of paper. Take some time, close your eyes, take a few breaths, maybe wait an hour or even to the next day and then write your email. So for example, we have, Dear Mrs. White, today I was upset in your classroom. Could we meet sometime to discuss what happened? Rather than being really angry and frustrated in the email, it's better to calm yourself down and talk about it later. And there you go. So once it says students can draw on this slide, right? Formal email salutations. So always in your email with a friendly salutation. That means kind of like your signature. If your name is already in your signature line, you won't need to key it in again. If there's no signature line, you'll need to write your name under the salutation and place a comma after it. So for example, circle the 3 salutations that you think you would use most. Here's some examples. Sincerely, yours truly, best regards, thanks, thank you for your consideration, sincerely yours, best wishes, thanks in advance, thank you so much for your time. Here you get to pick any of the colors you want. I'm going to choose purple. One that I use a lot is thanks. Another one that I use a lot, and watch, I can go down here and I can make it a pencil instead of a pen. And it still works. So I would use thank you. And then sometimes I use sincerely. So those are the 3 that I would use. That's all you're going to do. Email information locator. Your signature line includes information about you. You may also add a school graphic team logo or club activity. I will show you how to do this another time, okay? Here you have a chance to ask me any questions you want, but you do not have to ask me questions if you don't want to. But if you have a question, put it here. Once you're done, you're completely done with your Peardeck. You don't need to hit send. You don't need to submit it. It's automatically uploaded to my computer and I can look at it later today. So I hope this has helped you a little bit. If you have any other questions, email me or use Google Hangouts. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.